All right, we got Stephen King's The Tommyknockers. I first read this book, I think it was back in high school. It was before I watched this miniseries. I think it played like on sci-fi or something years later, and I kind of forgotten about it. It is about a author. He's trying to get clean and sober, and he and a friend of his discover like these weird glowing like artifacts in the woods, and they pretty much unearth a lot of them, and it starts to affect the town in different ways. And these artifacts like glow green. It's very creepy and eerie, and you get to see the citizens of like this small town. You have a policeman, you have like a mechanic, you have two people, a guy and a younger girl, Tracy, played by Tracy Lords, who work at the town post office. So all the stuff that's discovered, it affects them in different ways. Like some can read people's minds, some can turn household things into weapons, and what have you. Ordinary things around the town become basically a threat to people in town. And it's basically like a almost like a parasite, almost like an addiction. The people in town start becoming obsessed with unearthing the rest of these objects in the woods. So very creepy, very unsettling. And of course, this was done like back in 1993. So it's not super gory or violent. And, but that doesn't really bother me. I feel like this is a fun, a little bit cheesy in a good way. They did do a movie several years ago, I think 2019. It was called Night of the Tommyknockers, but I think it was just like an indie film. It wasn't like an official entry. It had pretty much not a lot to do with this miniseries. That movie took place like in the Old West, and we were supposed to get like a new version of the Tommyknockers several years ago. It was announced on like Bloody Disgusting and stuff like that for horror movie news, and it's just never got made. So I'm not even sure if it's like still in production. I guess we'll see. I did do a review of the Piranha movies, and they announced they were going to do a new version of that and set it in Japan, and that was announced like several years ago. But now apparently it's going to come to fruition. So you never know. This might still be in the cards. It may take several more years to make. So we'll see. I'm probably gonna just Google that just out of my curiosity. So this is a really fun Stephen King miniseries, and I know people feel like, his adaptations can go either way, good to like kind of corny. But for me, I really enjoyed this for what it was. I watch it like every couple of years, and I feel like I'm just kind of feeling the urge to watch it again. So I don't think this is on streaming anymore, and I haven't watched it on cable like in like a decade plus, probably longer. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Stephen King's The Tommyknockers. Give it a watch if you're able to. I love it. And thanks for, stopping by and listening to or watching this review. I appreciate it. Bye.